Rap is in such a crazy place. Kendrick and Drake have produced 8 tracks. Yes, 8 releases where they're dissing each other after years and years of sneak dissing, saying things, subliminal shots, all of that. And Drake just dropped the latest installment last night with The Heart Part 6. That's right. Drake dropped The Heart Part 6, not Kendrick. Drake took over Kendrick's The Heart series, which to me is payback for Kendrick taking Drake's Timestamp series. So now it's serious. It's even more serious once we get into what's actually said. But let's continue. I'm going to be dropping other videos breaking down the other songs of the beef, but I made this channel because of this song. The Heart Part 6 is a song that is extremely deflating and disappointing for anyone who is listening to Drake as a Drake fan, at least in my opinion. And to preface this before you say, oh, Gifted, you're just a OVO meat rider, all this and all that. I love Drake. I love Kendrick. I've been listening to both for a very, very long time, over a decade now. And I really feel like The Heart Part 6 is one of the most disappointing fumbles that I've seen in hip-hop history, if I'm being quite honest. But let's break down the track. Because I know some of y'all might think I'm just talking, I'm just chatting, I'm a Kendrick stan. I've liked this battle, and again, I'll express my thoughts on the other tracks and the individual videos. But as far as The Heart Part 6, let me break down exactly why I feel like this song is weak and a disappointment considering all the anticipation built up after Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, which is a club banger going crazy. And then Drake responds with a heartfelt record with The Heart Part 6. Let's break it down real quick. All right, so first things first, shout out to Drake. This was a great sample of Aretha Franklin. She's saying, now let me see you prove it. Just let me see you prove it. That is a reference to what's been going on in the battle so far, where Kendrick and Drake have thrown some serious allegations that, truth be told, if you heard outside of a rap battle, would cause conflict in real life. Like, this is not regular rap beef. This is scathing accusations, including SA, which I can't say on YouTube for obvious reasons, and then also a child not being yours, and DA. SA and DA are serious stuff. And Drake here responding to Kendrick is saying, prove it. Where's your paperwork that I did what you claim I did? So solid. Again, I like the way he started. That's good tempo.
All right. Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. I got your fucking lines tapped, I swear that I'm dialed in. First I was a rat, so where's the proof of the trial then? Where's the paperwork of the cabinet is filed in? 1090 Jake would've took all the walls down. The streets would've had me hiding out in a small town. My Montreal connects stand up, not fall down. The ones that you getting your stories from, they all clowns. I am a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor and decoration. You waited for this moment, overcome with the desperation. We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information.
Let's break that down. So again, it looks like he's starting out the track good. He's rapping, he's dialed in. The beat flip from the sample is very, very solid. He's talking about how am I a rat, prove it. He's questioning Kendrick's credibility and asking where his paperwork is, which is 100% fair. Again, we don't know Drake in real life. We don't know Kendrick in real life. So I'm not a fan of just assuming either of them are telling the truth about what they've claimed. But there's a weakness in Drake's lines. Drake says, the ones that you're getting your stories from, they all clowns. I am a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor and decoration. You waited for this moment, overcome with the desperation. We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information. The reason why the lines are kind of weak is he's initially calling whoever Kendrick is getting the information from clowns, but then later on, he's saying that we're the ones who planned this out. We're the ones that made sure that Kendrick got this information. So it would imply that you're calling yourself a clown, which doesn't make sense unless the argument is he's not talking about the mole, he's talking about Twitter, and he's saying you can't believe. But I think because he's referencing Kendrick early on, I don't want to give him that bail. I feel like he is talking about Kendrick, and he is talking about who gave Kendrick the information on the records that he's put out. If my interpretation is correct, then to me, Drake is contradicting himself here, and it makes the previous line weaker.
Years years old, I bet he takes it. We thought about giving a fake name or a destination, but you so thirsty, you not concerned with investigation. Instead, you in that Venice studio, it's a celebration. You gotta learn to fact check things and be less impatient. Your fans are rejoicing, thinking this is my expiration. Even the picture you use, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove and the drug he uses for less inflation. Master manipulator, you bid on a speculation. You dumb and reactive, nigga, I'm petty with dedication. What about the bones we dug up in that excavation? And why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations? Why is she following Dave Free and not Mr. Morale? You haven't seen the kids in 6 months, the distance is wild. Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child. Speaking of anything with a child, let's get to that now. This Epstein angle was the shit I expected. TikTok videos you collected and dissected. Instead of being on some disdirect shit, you rather fucking grab your pen and misdirect shit. My mom came over today and I was like, mother I, wait a second. That's that one record where you say you got molested. Oh, fuck me, I just made the whole connection. This about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with, it's so excessive. They acting like it's so aggressive, but you just never known affection. I don't wanna dish you anymore. This really got me second guessing.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Okay, we're gonna break down the whole scheme. Let's get to it. Shout out to Drake, because the rapping in terms of execution to me is good. I like the way he sounds. He's flowing well. I was really dialed in. This is definitely timestamp type of Drake that you got. This isn't the overly melodic Drake. This is Drake rapping with a purpose, rapping to get to an idea or a concept. And what that concept is Drake is doubling down on the fan theory that Kendrick Lamar had information from a mole that was planted by Drake, like a double agent type of situation. And while that's good that he's claiming that, the weaker bars of the track are towards the end of it, which deals with him now focusing on Whitney and the DA allegations between Kendrick. And more importantly, the Dave Free line about him being the true father of Kendrick's son, why Whitney is following Dave Free and not Kendrick, which, by the way, I think really hurt his case because that's not credible enough information to make us think that there's something between Kendrick and Whitney. It's Twitter. Kendrick's a very weird Twitter guy, so that doesn't really matter as much. But there's much more damning things for Drake in this verse when you get to the Mother I Sober line. Drake says, my mom came over today and I was like, mother I, mother I, mother I. That is a direct reference to Mother I Sober, which is a song about Kendrick talking about a lot of serious themes about SA, and specifically when Drake does the mother I, mother I, mother I, in my interpretation, Drake is acting like a child Kendrick, where after being SA'd by someone in the family, he's struggling to convey what happened to him to his mom. Mother I, mother I, mother I. Because obviously, if you were in a situation like that and you're trying to open up about it and speak about it, it's probably going to be hard to convey that pain to a family member. Now, I'm not soft personally. To me, rap beef is rap beef. We've seen crazy things happen in rap beef. These two guys have gotten personal. So again, I could understand this angle and appreciate it if he went about it in a different way. But this is where the weak part comes in. He then says, wait a second. That's that one record where you say you got SA'd. I just made the whole connection. This is about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This is when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedo raps is shit you so obsessed with. It's so excessive. They acting like it's so aggressive, but you just never known affection. I don't want to dish you anymore. This really got me second guessing. The reason why this is awful, a awful, awful line that changes how I view this entire track is because Drake got the line incorrect. So as you can see, this is my Twitter. Follow me if you like takes about basketball and other stuff. But here, the reason why I had this tweet about Drake rapping but getting it incorrect is because these are the lyrics from Mother I Sober, which, again, Mother I is the first start of the title, Mother I Sober. Kendrick says, family ties, they accused my cousin. Did he touch you, Kendrick? Never lied, but no one believed me when I said he didn't. This is such a critical flaw and error for Drake because you're literally misinterpreting the song. Nowhere on the song does Kendrick say that he got SA. That never happened. He never said that. Instead, he's saying they didn't believe me based on his mother's personal trauma because it happened to her. And because she knew it happened to her and how she felt inside, she could not believe Kendrick, even though it really did not happen. So that's the point of it. And Drake instead does not understand, did not bother to really listen to the song and gets the angle completely wrong. Now, I've seen Drake fans on Twitter saying, well, no, that doesn't matter. He did it on purpose. I don't think that's true. And the reason why is shortly after this, he gets back to this line where he's speaking about Kendrick's wounds being infected. Like, basically, the angle is because you went through this and you were abused as a child, you have anger in your heart and you're projecting it on me to say I did it when I haven't. And it's got to be one of the worst angles because the literal line is based off of you got incorrect. Now, I'm not a Drake hater, but I got to be honest. You got to have the writers proofread this or something because there's no way you criminally get this wrong in a moment where the entire world is bumping Kendrick's new diss song. You drop this one, so all eyes are on you. You call it The Heart Part 6. It's time to rap, and you have a critical error just like this. And it's not the only error. There's a lot more, so let's keep going.
Yes, and Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play, you probably start reflecting. I never been with no one underage, but now I understand why this the angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested, but that's not the lesson. Clearly there's a deeper message.
Awful. It's awful. I never been with no one underage, but now I understand why this the angle you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm way too famous for this shit you just suggested, but that's not the lesson. Clearly there's a deeper message, deep cuts that never healed, and now they got infected. This is an awful scheme because as you can see with that line about the deep cuts that never healed, he is going back to the Mr. Morale line where in the track, he's literally stating Kendrick got touched, meaning that line has to be literal for you to have that other scheme off of that. And it's incorrect, which means even you saying that, the basis of it is completely false. But even if I give him bail, right? Even if I say, okay, Kendrick did get touched. My problem is this. If someone is calling you a pedo and you have to fight through these allegations, I don't care how scathing you are on a track, but making fun of someone for getting touched is kind of crazy when you're trying to overcome those allegations. A pedo probably wouldn't care that much, probably wouldn't have sympathy for someone getting touched. He's not doing that. Instead, he's trying to paint it as you got touched, you're mad, you're projecting your anger on me, that's why. And it's a whack angle. And that's even if I'm giving him bail. I'm not going to give him bail because he's incorrect about the line. So the laziness of it really stands out to me more than anything else on this track, which is very, very frustrating. But let's get back to it.
Message. Deep cuts that never healed and now they got infected. Like if Dave really fucked your girl and got her pregnant. Talk about breeding resentment. Not sure how to ease the sentiment. The shit's too intimate. I'm praying you recover from both incidents. But you a piece of shit, so this shit really no coincidence. Drake is not a name that you gon' see on no sex offender list. Easy does it. You mentioned an A minor, but niggas gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it. You thought you left D flat, D major. I'll slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross hair like that one flight from Malaysia. I'm your baby mama screensaver. Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Browns. I'd never look twice at no teenager.
All right, let's get to it. And just when you think it can't get any worse, Drake somehow finds a way to make it sound even worse than what it already was. He's saying, if Dave really fucked your girl and got her pregnant, talk about breeding resentment. First off, good play on words with breeding resentment. Double entendre because she's literally breeding in the, I like that. That's strong. However, when you think about the scheme and like the information he's feeding you to make you feel these lines, it's all based off the previous lie. That's not opinion. He just factually read it incorrectly. But then when you keep on reading, he says, Drake is not a name that you're going to see on no offender list. That's crazy because you're right. Because Drake is not your real name. It's Aubrey Graham. So even that line kind of feels weird. And I know Y'all might say, well, you could assume, but even then, just laying it out in that way doesn't really hit. And then you have some more terrible bars. You mentioned an A minor, but niggas got a B sharp and tell the fans who was it. You thought you left D flat, he major. I'll slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross air like that one flight from Malaysia. I'm your baby mama's screensaver. Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I never looked twice in no teenager. Okay, this is bad. And the reason why it's bad is the bars are lazy. Why are they lazy? Because if you're a Drake fan, years ago on Tucson Leather, Drake had the A, B, I got your CD, you get an E for effort. He was going off the alphabet stuff, which was hard. That was hard. But in this case, he's trying to do it with piano keys, and he's incorrect. Because as someone that studied music in high school, again, I'm not like some crazy nerd, but B sharp is the same as saying C. B sharp is essentially C. It doesn't technically exist. They don't, like, it's C, right? C, the relative minor key for C major is A minor. This is super music nerdy shit, but again, I love hip hop, so I'm listening. But essentially, he found a way to basically say, no, it is A minor, which would hurt his case against Kendrick. I know he didn't mean to do that, but it's a mistake. That's why the bar isn't good. And then when you keep on going, I'll slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross air like that one flight from Malaysia. Again, no problem with that. It's a funny line. That sounded kind of cool. But then when he says, only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's, I never looked twice in no teenager. The problem with that is I catch the flip, right? Bobby Brown is a guy that is known for his incidents with assault on Whitney Houston. Whitney is obviously a play on words because Kendrick's wife is Whitney. The issue with this is right after that, he says, I never looked twice in no teenager. Drake, I need you to understand, looking twice at a teenager is implying you looked at least once. Now, I understand. Y'all might say that I'm doing too much, I'm being too technical, but you can't say something like that. You should never be looking at a teenager. Saying I want to look twice at that is implying you would look once. So it makes his whole case just look weird, and it sounds weird. It's just lazy writing.
I'm a fucking hit maker, dog, not a peacemaker. Yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber. Your ass in extreme danger. Stop buying views and buy comments. You may as well keep the paper. Shit you about to need for later. I give a fuck about your streaming data. You could drop 100 more records. I'll see you later. Yeah, maybe when you meet your maker. I don't wanna fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature. If you still bumping R. Kelly, you could thank the savior. Said if they deleted his music, then your music is going to a hypocrite. I don't understand why these people praise you. Sounding like you sent him commissary when he needs some paper. Album dropping soon, no wonder you turn a clout chaser instead of doing hard labor. Nigga, I see you when I see you like Fantasia. And Whitney, you can hit me if you need a favor. And when I say I hit your back, it's a lot safer. I promise.
All right, so that's really the end of this track. Drake does some spoken outro stuff. I'll get to that after the fact, but let's break down the final bars of the song here. So for the remainder of this record, he's talking about Kendrick buying views and bot comments to kind of allege that he's trying to spin the narrative and it's inflated. His numbers and all that are just made up and maybe causing hate comments of Drake to make Drake sound like he's not really rapping. But then after that, he speaks about, I don't want to fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature. If you're still bumping R. Kelly, you could thank the savior. Said if they deleted his music, then your music is going to a hypocrite. I don't understand why these people praise you. Sounding like you sent him commissary when he needs some paper. Album dropping soon. No wonder you turn to a cloud chaser instead of doing hard labor. Now that's also bad. And the reason why that's bad is this is once again another situation where Drake, multi-million-dollar guy, multi-millions, hits, classics, all of this, could just do his Googles and see that he's incorrect yet again. And the final nail in the coffin for me, which made me really hate the song, is he's boasting at the end about how everything he says is facts. He's talking to Kendrick. He's talking like he doesn't want to drop another diss track, like that was the bomb, like it's over. I just got all the momentum back on my side. I won. I beat the allegations. I made them question Kendrick. And it's like, you couldn't be more wrong if you listen to what he's saying and you do 3 Google searches. That's all you have to do to invalidate a lot of what he said on this record. And he's boasting like he won, like he said everything correct, like that was it. And it wasn't it, which made me cringe so hard because Drake is better than this. Drake is a better writer than this. I know he is. So the fact that he rushed to get this out is a bad look. And more importantly, for the battle, it just doesn't look great. So those are my main takeaways. I don't want to waste too much time. We have a long recording here. If you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe. Again, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace out, people.